behalf of the Missouri State Fair, be happy to extend an invitation to each and every Missourian and also to the residents of the states surrounding Missouri to attend the Missouri State Fair, which we say is the fair to see in 53.
Tell us some of the agricultural exhibits that can be seen here at the fair, Mr. Carpenter.
Well, Dick, I think if we'd look right closely from here, we could see a lot of them. In fact, our exhibit buildings are overflowing. Our livestock buildings are overflowing. We took a quick round this morning on all of the exhibits, and we are very happy to report that we have as many or more exhibits here this year than we've ever had, in spite of some of our dry weather and other things that we've, as farmers, have had to encounter this year.
And of course, there are other exhibits of the other phases in addition to agriculture.
Dick, actually, there are exhibits here. I've said many times in the last month, and I repeat again now, that a two-day trip to the state fair, in fact, a trip in this front gate back here that cost each person only 30 cents, could well be equivalent to a week or 10-day trip over the state of Missouri. We have them all here.
Well, we expect to see quite a few of them on our tour through the Midway and through the various exhibits today. And again, we want to thank you for your courtesy in inviting us to come down and making the fair available to our viewers.
Gosh, we're glad to have you here, Dick.
All right, beside the exhibits of agriculture and the other phases, there's a lot of activity, a lot of fun, a lot of thrills to be had at the state fair. So we're going to ask Mr. Rollo Singleton, the Executive Secretary of the fair, to tell you about some of them.
We think that we have the splendid, well-balanced program of entertainment for the full 9 days. Starts off this afternoon with motorcycle racing, this evening with thrill show. Tomorrow, Sunday the 22nd, we'll have the big car races in the afternoon in front of the grandstand, and a different thrill show in the evening. Then Monday we start the grand circuit racing in front of the grandstand. We'll have 5 afternoons of that. It'll extend through Friday the 28th. In the evening, Monday, in front of the grandstand will be our horse show. All other performances of the horse show will be in the Coliseum. That includes Sunday, the first Sunday, the 22nd, and all through the week, including Friday, the 28th, on the horse show. We have Ernie Young's agency and Sam Howard's Aqua Thrills Show. That's an innovation at this year's Missouri State Fair that'll perform for 6 nights, and it'll end on Wednesday evening, the 26th day of August, after which we'll have wrestling for 3 nights, 27th, 28th, and 29th. And of course, at the end of the fair, on Saturday the 29th, we'll have again big car auto racing in front of the grandstand, and on Sunday the 30th, we'll have stock car races. And we have Barnes Carruthers Stage Review out in front of the grandstand every evening, including the fireworks, after Monday, the 22nd.
Well, that sounds like a wonderful 9 days of fun and education here at your state fair. Thank you, gentlemen, again, for letting us come down. And we're going to invite our viewers to join us now as we go down through the Midway, up and around the various exhibits, and have a lot of fun showing them what they can see here at your state fair. Thanks again very much.
Thank you, Dick.
Thank you very kind.
More thrilling, more sensational, and more daring than all those other thrill shows you may have seen here in previous years. I know everybody likes thrills, and don't fail to see this show. All the time. Look at them laugh and how they laugh. Say we make them laugh, but it's going on all the time here. 9 cents for children. Craziest darn thing you ever seen.
I've always wanted to see the Great Lester's Museum of Magic, and let's come right up in close. These folks will let us through, and here is the Great Lester. Now the Great Lester is going to place the casket back under the girl floating in air. Oh, this is going to be something else.
You've just seen a big illusion of a girl floating in the air. Now watch while the Great Lester shows you a magic trick that's accomplished by skill. From an empty bag and egg, watch the egg. You ladies go home, just make a bag like this, turn it over your head, stay hocus pocus, reach down into the bag every night, try and kick into supper.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's what...
If of any kind inside, and if you're out here to have fun, I'm going to invite you right now to see the big one without waiting for the show to start at afternoon prices. Now, that's half-price tickets. You'll find them on sale here. You'll find them on sale over here. Positively no waiting, and you see a full show of your money back. There we go. We're right on through. Look through the doorway. The master ceremony's on stage, so that means you're getting in right at the beginning.
Oh, and we're looking over to the Sally Rand, the star screen in person, and facing east, as you can see, for a half a mile toward the grandstand. It's all midway. A half a mile long and a quarter of a mile wide.
The 1953 edition of America's largest all-colored show under canvas.
We just happened to run into an old friend of ours, a Chicago newspaper man from who we find is the press agent here for the Cetlin Wilson Midway. He is Herb Pickard. Herb, you've got a wonderful show here. I think everyone in Missouri will want to see it. Will you tell us a little something about it?
Yes,
it's one
I
of
will.
the unusual shows.
And Dick, it certainly is a pleasure to see you again. Of course, here at Cetlin Wilson Shows, we have the greatest midway extravaganza in the world. There's no question about it. We have 50 carloads of shows and tented theaters and rides and added attractions. And of course, we're featuring Sally Rand on our Midway Avenues this year. And there's another little correction I'd like to make, Dick.
All right.
When you say a half a mile, that's on one side of the Midway. We have 2 avenues, and it's a mile long. If you put it together, it would be 1 mile.
I stand corrected. And it's a lot of midway.
Yes, it
you
is.
told me something about really a city on wheels.
That's right, Dick. The Cetlin and Wilson Shows is literally a city on wheels. First of all, the show employs 723 people. We maintain our own power plants, our own neon shops, carpenter shops, blacksmith shops, our own train crew. We have our own fire department, our police department, and we even carry a school teacher to take care of the children who visit their parents during the summer months.
And what is the season, Herb?
Well, we open in April, of course, and we close in the middle of November. And our winter quarters are in Petersburg, Virginia.
And I hope that you can count the Missouri State Fair at Sedalia as one of the high points of the season.
Well, we really feel that Sedalia is one of our most favorite fairs in this country, and we play all of them.
Well, thanks, Herb Pickard, and I see something very interesting going on over here, Hal. Will you swing your camera over and see those beautiful girls? Oh, there's the pits just starting here for the high steppers of 53.
It's the big one, the big all-star review. Watch it now. America's largest all-colored review under canvas today. The big one, Jerry Jackson's famous high stepper special. The big 1953 edition of the largest under canvas in America. The high stepper special. 1 hour and 5 minutes of the fastest stepping review under canvas today. It's
Well, this is the pitch for the high steppers of 53.
Yeah.
One of the big girl attractions here at the Missouri State Fair. And the pitch, as you can see, is gathering a pretty good crowd around. And in just a few moments, the man will say, tickets are on sale. Step right up and enjoy the show.
Monkey hot rod races, racing a mile a minute around that 100-foot racetrack. Monkey hot rod races. Ladies and gentlemen, come in now, while they race a mile a minute around that 100-foot racetrack. Monkey hot rod races. Showtime, race time, where all the monkeys are. Now, ladies and gentlemen, 15 big acts, 25 monkey performers, dances, acrobats, funny clowns, monkey hot rod races.
And we've made a 1-mile tour of the giant midway here at the State Fair. And as we came in, here we go out the gate on to other exhibits in this marvelous State Fair, which is opening today. You're hearing about it tonight. It will be open for 7 more days through next Sunday evening. Out the midway gate we go, on to some of the exhibits in the Thrillcade and other features of the fair. We hope you've enjoyed this midway trip. A few of the horses that are going to be on display in the horse shows here at the fair. And with me is Forrest Gibson with the Light Horse Department here to tell you something about the horses that you're going to see in this little parade this afternoon. Forrest?
Thank you, sir. Standing in front of the camera at the present time is a fine harness pony. The name is Blue Rain, owned by the Nagel Stables of Topeka, Kansas. And he is one of the finest ponies that we have on the grounds. This is Tom Davis, a trainer.
All right, Tom. Thank you very much.
Now you see the Hackney pony. This pony's from Carrollton, Missouri, owned by Mr. and Miss Elliott. Stanley, beg your pardon. And this is Jack Schaefer holding the pony, in charge of him. Now there's a fine specimen of a Hackney pony, folks, one of the nicest. Now here's your American-bred saddle horse.
Turn him sideways.
This horse is being exhibited here by the Blue Ridge Stables. Now look, there's a very nice model horse, American saddlebred. The fineness, sharpness, and brilliance. Now here's from the Armstrong Stables, and this here is your road horse. This is the horse that gives you the thrills with the speed to the bikes and also to the road buggies. Now there's a typical road horse and one of the best ones you'll see in a many a day. That is young Armstrong exhibiting the horse.
Forrest, is this a type horse that will be used in the Grand National Harness races here this coming week?
That's the type of horse that'll be used. The only difference that these horses are shown with more motion. Now this is the walking horse. This is being exhibited by Mr. Hanley. And he's from Kansas City. And there is your walking horses that you'll see during the show.
Let's have that pinto now, huh? Oh, here he goes. And in front of your view here is one of the prize-winning boars of the show, probably. We'd like to have you meet Pete Reed, the superintendent of the Swine Division of the show, who will describe some of these animals to you and tell you who's showing them.
This happens to be the Chester White boar shown by I.E. Rudisil of Molina, Missouri, who's an amateur showman, only been showing 32 years at the Missouri State Fair. He has become educated enough to breed and show a good hog yet. We're glad to have Mr. Rudisil here, who is quartered in the building this time and not under a tent in the mud.
And on the hoof. Mr. Reed, will you tell us what this animal is and something about him?
This happens to be a junior yearling Duroc Jersey boar, covered with red hair, owned by the Strowald Farm. You can see here at Bowling Green, Missouri. The Bowling Green Farm is owned by Marion Strother. The herdsman who is displaying the boar at the present time is Bob Perry, who is president of the Ag Club at Missouri University. Single and unmarried, I believe.
And you can tell that's a pretty good-sized animal. I'm a pretty good-sized boy myself, 6 feet tall, and look where he comes up to me. 800 pounds, I'm told he weighs. Just one of the hope-to-be prize animals to be shown here this week at the Missouri State Fair. And I think I see a pair of twins coming out here. They are, Litterman? All right. Television screen are a couple of, well, they look very much like twins. Are those twins, Mr. Reed?
These are twin black Poland China sows produced on the any old farmer farm at Platte City, Missouri, who stands at my left. That's the amateur boy showing who's been here since 1916, only missed 1 year at the Missouri State Fair. That was last year when vesicular exanthema prevented him from coming. To keep his hogs healthy, he had to stay away. Mr. Farmer is just an amateur, only 77 years of age.
Beautiful animals, beautiful animals. A lot of ham and bacon on the hoof there, too. Now strolling casually onto the scene, the young lady here. I'm going to have to call on the expert, Pete Reed, to tell you about this animal who's showing her here and what she is.
Just on account of being superintendent of the swine show, it seems that my responsibility is to answer all questions, whether I'm familiar with them or not. However, this pig, this Chester White pig we have in the ring, comes from the Willowday Stock Farm up here in Iowa. If I'm not mistaken, Iowa is just north of Missouri. That's one of the big herds of Chester White hogs in the United States of America. Sure, these will be shown next week. If you want to see these hogs in the ring, be here next week.
Don't you kind of pan over, maybe give the folks a brief idea of the extent of this livestock pavilion here. We're located on the southwest corner so that we can take advantage of the lowering westerly sun. And it's a monstrous place. You can spend many, many minutes strolling through these long aisles, viewing the livestock here at the Missouri State Fair. And I'm sure you'll enjoy every minute of your stay. Well, here's a little guy coming out into your view, a smaller pig. Turn around, boy. That's the ticket. This is the ham at heart. Here's Shelby Cars, who is can tell us about this pig. It's a prize winner.
This is the grand champion bearer in the 4-H club show at the state fair here this year. Earlier this week, he was the grand champion bearer over all breeds at the Ozark Empire Fair at Springfield, Missouri, and he belongs to my nephew. That's R.D. Cars of Smithton, Missouri.
And that's a very young.
About 6 months old.
And he'll grow up into a lot of ham and bacon.
Well, that's right. Of course, he's at the size now when he'll kill and produce the best ham and bacon.
That's the real best eating kind. Huh? Thank you very much. Good luck. We're just driving by the south side of the pavilion and saw a chap in here shearing a sheep, getting him ready for the judging tomorrow. We'd like to find out about you and the animal that you're handling here. What is your name, please?
Steadman from Moberly. We're exhibiting Hampshire sheep here at the fair this year. We've been here several years. We're right now working on the ewe that was the blue ribbon ewe last year. A ewe that has traveled a little over 10,000 miles in a trailer and has probably been to more shows than a lot of people.
Well, wonderful. And she is eligible for another blue ribbon this year, right?
Well, she's eligible. She hasn't been judged yet. That's up to the judge.
That's what I mean.
She won that last year.
Well, good luck to you. It was interesting here watching
Thank
you
you.
getting her in shape. Gentlemen, we've parked our mobile camera over in front of the grandstand here at the fair for the start of the afternoon's motorcycle races. This is the program for yesterday. Of course, that's over, but every afternoon there are races here on the half-mile and the mile track. They're running fast. Those cycles qualified at over a mile a minute. At this point, we're watching the boys pile into the north turn here now. Watch them drag those left feet coated with steel, keep them from spilling. They're plowing down into the home stretch, about an eighth of a mile straightaway, where they gain maximum speed up to 60 miles an hour. A mile a minute down this home stretch. Piling and dragging those steel-coated boots of Number 35, comfortably out in front in this lap. You notice these riders dragging their left feet from the inside of the turn, keeps their bikes from slipping out from under them, helps them maintain their equilibrium. Here they come racing down the straightaway in front of the grandstand. Listen to those motors roar. So far, no spills. Sliding and skidding around the turn, straightening up. Here they come, barreling down a mile a minute, past our camera. There's action every afternoon. Last lap, the finish of the race, the
Flagman is holding the checkered flag. And here they come into the stretch, and it's a dual neck-and-neck battle. Number 97 is the winner in this first motorcycle race of the afternoon here at the State Fair in Sedalia. Races every afternoon, as we told you. Beginning tomorrow, the Grand National Harness Horse races. And on Saturday afternoon, the big car races on the half-mile track. And on Sunday again, there will be those always exciting stock car races. So plan on seeing some of the action from the grandstand at the State Fair. Accept his invitation and follow him down to the thrill cage, all right?
All right.
Here we go. Well, folks, we're concluding our visit to the State Fair by watching a portion of the Aqua Thrills Show, which is being presented 3 times daily during the run of the fair. The camera is focused on the Aqua Adorables as they are doing a little stand around the specially constructed pool on the south. Okay. This is one of the features of the Aqua Thrills, Torrance of Germany, performing on the top of a 125-foot sway pole.
Bring that pole back and forth by the balance of the body, shifting his weight on a 35 degree angle. Hand down the top of the pole.
Oh, dear. Another one of the acts in the Aqua Thrills. Everything isn't in the water. Here are the Jeffers, European portable trapeze artists. Depth of the tank, 20 feet, making the total dive 128 feet. Keep your eye on him. There he goes, backwards swan into the pool, right smack dab in the middle.
Well, folks, it's about 8 hours later than when we greeted you this morning from the Missouri Fairgrounds in Sedalia. We hope you've enjoyed the tour through the Midway, visiting the various features here at the show. I want to express our appreciation to two gentlemen here who had served on our photographic crew very ably today. Trooper Jack Little, who has been our guide and driver of our film car. Jack, we appreciate very much having had you with us. You've been a great guy and a big help.
Very glad to have been along.
And the guy who really set this up and has been our guide and the, what should we say, an expediter who got people to be where we'd like to have them at the time we'd like to have them is the special assistant to Secretary Singleton, Bill Campbell. Bill, thanks
Dickie,
very much.
You can call it what you will, but by golly, we wanted the folks to see the fair, and we think we got them a real preview.
Well, we hope so, and we hope they enjoyed it. Thanks,
Thank
Bill.
you, Dick. We'll see you around.
All right. Goodbye, Jack. Goodbye, folks.